Welcome to Jackson Wink MMA Academy. Through these doors walk the greatest fighters in the world. You're listening to JW Raw with Eminem.
All right, you guys ready?
You ready, Holly?
I'm here.
How everyone doing? Good?
Very good.
That's good.
All right, let's go.
All right, good morning.
As long as I can
Hi,
stop
everyone.
We're
sweating.
live?
Yeah.
We are live.
Nick
All right.
forgets to say we're live, so no one actually really knows if we're live
And then
or
Misha
not.
never turns the silencer on. It's
Thank-
chaos here.
Thank you, Nick.
So good morning, good afternoon, and good day. It's a wonderful day. It's our second podcast, and we're very excited for our second guest in studio. We have Holly Holm. She's going to be talking to us today. But first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, the CBD Boutique. They have a great, wonderful product that they sell, and you can read all about them on their website. And we're going to be talking about them a little bit later also. But please welcome to the show, Holly Holm.
How's it going?
Good morning.
And by the way, not Holly Holmes. For those that don't know, not Holly Holmes. And I repeat again, not Holly Holmes.
You know, I got to bring that up because there's a fighter out there. Her name is Holly Holmes, and we get that a lot on our social.
And we don't know who she is.
We have no clue. People are always saying, "Can you get Holly Holmes to say something? Can you get Holly Holmes to do this, do that?" And we're
Like,
always,
who is
this
she?
Holly Holmes?
I get these calls all the time. You know, like people
Yeah.
call me, "Can I talk to John Jones? Can I talk to Holly Holmes?" And I'm like, "Well, she's not here. I don't know who she is."
So she's
One of the guys that ran the NewMexicoBoxing.com here, Chris Cazone. Every time, because I fought my whole career here, most of it in boxing anyway, and he's like, "I think I know what your retirement speech should be. Just at the very end of it, just be like, hey guys, this whole time, it's home.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
out.
Holm.
Holly Holm out.
4 letters.
She's not Mexican. She's not
H O.
Spanish.
Or like I
She
think,
does not belong to a gang.
well, I think a lot of like household names are Holmes.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes, Katie Holmes. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I think it rolls
It
off
rolls,
it rolls off the tongue. That's why
Yeah.
people say it.
I answer to it by now. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's me.
But then you know if they know you or not if they're calling you by adding
True.
adding S at the end.
Yeah.
So you're fresh off your first practice of the day. 1 out of like 4 that you do. I know that you're one of the hardest workers around here. We're always fascinated with your work ethic. We were talking to Diego last week. Same thing.
Diego has great work ethic
You've
as well.
seen your UFC people, senior fighters. Your work ethic is just incredible, and it's fascinating to watch. And
one of the things I think too is just it gives mental strength. The more I'm here, the more time I put in.
Because when it's time to fight, you know you're ready. You know you put in your time. So
Absolutely.
It's like there's no, it's because from even myself, when you know if you're prepared or not. So it's like if you
It
train,
gives
you
mental
train. Yeah. If
confidence
you do
for
the
sure.
diet the right
Uh-huh.
way, if you
Absolutely.
get the rest the right way, if you put your hours in, when you step in there, I'm sure you feel like, okay, I've done everything right now. Time to have fun. So.
And I know that if I've done it 4 in one day, I can do 1 fight.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
So you got your sparring out of the way for today. What's typically next on a Thursday?
Well, this week actually, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday I only did 3 workouts, and Wednesday I only did 2 workouts.
Wow, yeah, she's slacking.
Slacking.
Actually. That's unusual.
So I think just because I've been
Growth,
training
man.
so much since my last fight, and Janna was here, so I was trying to be here every practice to help her get ready for her fight. It was fun though, because I was going righty, like just to play around with it, try and have fun with that, and then I think, well, what if I have a fight coming up? And I think it's also when I'm not here, I start to feel, what's my purpose? I need to get to the gym.
You feel
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw a comment yesterday. Someone said Holly has like a Russian sister, man. Because
I could see that.
Because you posted, congratulating her, and someone wrote on it, I believe. It's kinda cool.
Speaking
She
of,
did
congratulations on that. You get to take credit for that.
Yeah, because you helped her a lot.
You were her sparring partner for the whole camp.
You know what? I'm fortunate to have someone here like that. That's
You guys match.
my size.
Yeah.
All the girls here still give me a hard time, and they're fast, and they still have their own challenges for me. I work on different things with them, but to have someone, Janna's very strong, and she is strong in the clinch. There's a lot of things there that help me a lot too. So I like having somebody here. It's a good sparring partner.
Great, that's awesome. It's good to see you guys spar and have fun.
So Coach Wink, she actually gave him a big shout out after the fight. She's very, very proud of him, and it was a surreal moment watching that because that's usually you and Wink, and it was so different to see her soaking that all in. Something you've done for so many years. Coach Wink is such an incredible coach. He
absolutely.
He talks to us all the time about the training regimen that he does.
You like those, huh?
Yeah. Be careful with those Chinese candies there.
Yeah.
I'm already
you don't know what's in it. You know what's funny? I saw that Invicta FC video that they did about Janna, and the way she says, she says that she's been looking for something like this for the past 27 years. She feels like she hasn't accomplished anything in 27 years until she found this place. It's kind of fun to hear.
I appreciate when anybody feels that way, because I feel that way about this place, and I come from a different perspective, because I literally walked in to Winklejohn's Kickboxing when I was 16 just to work out. I didn't have to. I never had to go search for a great coach. I walked right in
just
to the best coach in the world.
Match made in heaven, one of those very unique scenario situations.
Whether you're a believer in God or not,
yeah.
I think that was just a blessing.
Well, believe me, he talks about it quite often about your work ethic, and he's extremely proud of it. We talk about the hill of tears, where athletes will go up with coaches and they run them up a little hill up in the foothills of Albuquerque, and Coach Wink says, well,
they don't go to the Wink Hill.
Exactly what he said. That's for pussies.
Yep. Wink
literally
quote, he said, that is the pussy run.
The pussy hill.
It is.
Ask Holly about the real run, the wheel.
And I brought some up there. And
you don't even
there's
feel
some that never go back.
Yeah, because you do 16, 17 up and down type runs, and then guys.
If I go to the Hill of Tears, it depends too. Some people go, which, by the way, the Hill of Tears is not called the Hill of Tears. That's like a new thing.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
It's not called the Hill of Tears. It's either copper or the telephone poles. Yeah. It's not the Hill of Tears. Nobody cries up there. You cry at the Wink Hill, aka the Hell Hill, aka
but no
Mount
one goes
Everest.
there. We don't even know where it is, though.
I don't even. We've never been to that. I went with Chris Brown and BJ Penn and all those guys when Ruka was in town doing a thing, and it's just a little hill by some.
Trust me, those sprints still hurt. Right, the power telephone poles.
Yeah, well, Wink said actually in Hill of Tears, you go up and down. In his hill, you go up and you never come down. And you never come down.
And that's exactly how he described it.
And you die over there.
He said there's no...
And at the very end, when you're at the top...
You cry.
I did cry, actually, the first time around on that. And then you run down at the end, and it takes a while to get back down, But all of them are... You don't have this, downhill kind of, which going downhill still uses.
Oh yeah. It's,
there's
more chance of falling, I think, because you're on such a stress, and with the stone. Probably I've never been there, but I know this one is like a lot of uneven terrain that you can slip and just roll.
The Wink Hill has a lot of.
It's a new one.
Slippery. And Wink, he jokes a lot about the Hill of Tears. I mean, he does. He's so funny about it.
Because it's not called the Hill of Tears.
And he says, and I've talked to other fighters. He says, there's that saying about they can run circles around you. Wink would literally run circles around you guys and laugh and say,
come on, Holly, I'm running circles around you, and I'm trying to trip him. I'm trying to push him over.
Is it true that one time back in the day when you guys went swimming, he beat you in the swimming pool?
No.
See, we're going to have to...
Okay, well, you know what?
Let's hear your version.
No, I think he beat me on freestyle, but I beat him on butterfly.
So everyone has their own sense of reality.
I guess we better...
It was a very long time ago in Arizona. It was the only time we ever raced in a pool. It was at a pool at a hotel in Phoenix.
So it did happen.
It did happen, but I don't think he told you that the butterfly I beat him.
Okay, we're going to check the archives and ask him about that.
I'm down to do it again.
He's very... Well, I think he'd be up for that challenge.
I would train for it because he's the type that has enough ego.
I'm sure he would too, believe me.
And enough pride.
So tell us a little bit about I've been hearing about this new project you're into lately about some woodworking stuff that you're getting into.
Well,
How did that come about?
Well, I mean, I like to do any kind of woodworking. Let's just be clear. I do everything with 1x2s and 2x4s and 1x4. I do a pretty dang good job with them, but
We don't even know what that means, but it sounds like something.
I know you were saying you were gonna do some project for women's dorm rooms.
Well,
so
they were
I wanna
asking
do
about-
kinda what is it gonna be?
yeah, Nadia was just telling me like, hey, do you have a sander? Because I'm trying to sand down the cabinets. I'm like, what are you doing? So she took me back
what are
there.
you doing?
Yeah.
She rolled her eyes like a pro. Like, what are you doing? Let me take care of it.
No
you know?
problem.
Well, because sometimes people sand more than they have to.
Okay.
I'm like, you might be working too hard. There's also like strippers and things like that, depending on how rough the varnish is, how thick it is. But redoing the cabinets, that's easy. You know, if you get a good primer and all that, yes, we want to sand it first. But I'm like, you don't need to like bring it down to like raw.
Because those are old DEA cabinets that were
Mhm.
left
Yeah,
over
yeah.
from
Well,
the
a lot of them
deconstruction of this
are.
place.
Some of them are particle board,
Yeah.
and some of the frames are wood.
Ah, okay.
So they're not going to look perfect when they're done, even if they're
Okay.
painted, because you'll probably see the particle, the texture. But whatever, we'll still make them look good. But when I was back there, I was like, "There's room here for counter space, and there's room here for this." So, and then they have a table in there. It's under the TV, but they can only use half of it anyway. She's like, "It'd be
Yeah.
more cool just have like a bar, like
So,
up
yeah.
against the wall, rather than." So I found this. If you search the internet, you can find anything
Oh,
for like
sure,
do-it-yourself
for sure.
projects.
Yeah.
That's how I made a bed that, by the way, my husband was questioning it because we had people come stay the night, and he's like,
Yeah, anytime you're taking a bed somewhere
so-
else, yeah, that's probably it.
Matthew's gonna be sleeping in that bed. Like, is it sturdy? And I was like, excuse me.
Mhm.
I said he weighs like, well over 200 pounds.
Okay.
He probably weighs like 250. I would throw out there. And I'm like, let him sleep, and if he falls, I owe everybody dinner or something. I was like, it is sturdy as can be.
And it's
We've had
funny-
people saying that.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, it
And,
is solid.
And it's funny because a lot of people don't know that you in real estate as well.
Mhm.
And actually, Holly happens to be my personal
Yeah.
realtor with her father.
They
And
literally
ended
just
up-
sold him a house.
Yeah,
a
and
couple
ended
weeks
up buying a
ago.
house. So for those that
Mm-hmm.
need that, please,
Mhm.
who wouldn't want to be, have
Actually,
Holly
just-
home as their real. And I know that you have an eye for this thing. You like, you like looking at interiors and
it's
decorations,
fun.
things like
Mhm.
this, and you like talking about it. That's why we kind of like I
I
see
think
your
it's fun, yeah.
effort into
Mhm.
trying to help with the dorm rooms to make it nice.
We'll do it before and after. I'll show you guys some after
Sweet,
pictures.
okay.
Don't get me wrong. It's going to be like farmhouse style with like wood. I'm
Nice.
not going like...
But you got some kind of special kit, you said, right? Somebody bought you
Yeah,
some
somebody said
special.
there's, someone got you as a present some kind of a woodworking.
Yes.
Some kind of woodworking.
Tell us
Actually
about
got quite a few tools, which is awesome. And I've been wanting... So I have a brad nailer like that you hook up to an air compressor at home, but I hate having to do that because it's so loud. And majority of the time, I'm doing these projects at midnight, and my husband's asleep. So then I turn on the air compressor, and it's like...
Yeah, don't
So-
be messing
Poor
with his
Jeff.
sleep.
Yeah.
Poor
Don't
Jeff.
mess with Jeff's sleep.
Yeah, you know what? Jeff didn't have to buy a whole bedroom set because I made it, so I don't really want to hear poor Jeff.
Okay.
Ah, that's pretty
Save
awesome.
some money. I know Jeff likes to save some money. So.
Yeah. So, but I had I've been wanting to get a brad nailer, like a battery operated brad nailer. So I got one of those.
So
Super
there you
excited.
go, yeah.
I don't know why I hadn't got one before. Maybe it was like perfect. I got like little like
So is a brad nailer? Is that what something like a belt fed?
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a like for like
I'm not a
kind of like
handyman,
like
yeah,
a stapler,
okay.
like a nailer, like a so you can
Nick, do you know what that
brad
hammer
nailer.
is? Brad nailer thing? She's throwing us off here.
You know,
Mhm.
I would probably go to the home hardware store and
Ask
all
questions.
of the people would be gone and I couldn't find what that
Yeah,
was. So no, I
we're
don't
not,
know.
we're not going to call this the man show because we're failing.
Yeah,
epically
we're,
right now.
we're not handy. I'm not. So I got the house.
Always kicking
If
her
you give
ass.
me-
even
if you
if-
give me
I'm,
like-
I'm lost, man. There's so many
So
especially these
Okay, you
people
want
with
me
all
to
this
tell you what my
electronics, I'm like,
favorite tool that I found over the last, it was like 2 years ago, is a Craig jig.
Wow.
Where that was missing my whole
Jig.
life. It drills pocket holes for screws and stuff.
That's
so you
Holly
don't
home for
split
you.
your
man.
wood.
She doesn't normally fight, man.
It's my favorite tool.
She can kick our ass
And the brad
in the
nailer.
ring, in the
And
cage.
build the house for you and the kitchen.
Yeah,
I don't do a lot of the finishing stuff, which I want to learn that, like more of the detailed, but like if you give me a miter saw.
I would assume after
Craig jig.
after as much as you work, you'd want to just come home, lay in bed, and watch TV. Man.
That is my release though.
The woodworking.
I would rather do that than watch TV sometimes. When I watch TV, if I watch movies, great, depending on what they are. But some realities, and like after I watch it, I kind of feel a little bit dumber after watching it.
We watched some cool movies with you. Actually, we've watched a couple. That's
Uh-huh.
fun.
Actually, the last movie I really liked. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
It's good to get the team together.
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah,
It was good.
We get the theater all to ourselves with Holly Holm
We can
as
do
a
it again,
host.
too.
Yeah, we get nice theater. I like that they added those chairs, the reclining chairs. I've never seen it in movie theater. It was so cool.
This guy was in heaven.
Because
Oh, it makes me want to go again. I know.
Yeah, because you know, like I am kind of claustrophobic, not claustrophobic, but like you're uncomfortable. You can't move, especially I
Well, I
my
want to put
back.
my feet
so,
up.
yeah, you want
And I'm
to
putting them up
relax.
in front of me. And I'm like,
You
ooh,
wanna
I don't know
relax.
if
You
that's
was
bothering the
indicating
person behind
in front of
me.
you, exactly. Yeah.
Now they have all this leg room, and you can recline.
They're reclined. They're like legit
Actually,
recliners.
literally turn on the side.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people fall asleep in them. It's just
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
they
no, they're
definitely
awesome.
design Right, so.
What's the deal? How's that work? Like you get like hookups like that? Or is
So
it
just I don't know about
sponsors?
like a year and a half ago. They just said, hey, we want Holly to go do a
Screening.
private screening, and they're like, we just wanted to put it on our social media, like what movie it is, and she'll get the whole theater. And I thought, well, okay, so I did it once, and everybody really, you get a free popcorn, free Coke as well, so it's like,
You get all the friends together, family
Mhm.
and stuff. You get like once
And so
in a while hang out.
when you think about it, like if you can treat all your friends to an entire movie, like
Why not?
yeah,
Yeah, I can
Why
only
not?
imagine that bill.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would be huge, yeah.
it would
So
be out
it's
of
kind
control.
of
So thank you.
all I have to do is
Thanks
like
for always
post
inviting
it.
Rio and,
Great.
and whatever
Yeah.
production company's putting that together. We
Yeah.
appreciate
No, it's
that,
fine.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I could do them a lot more often. It's just
Sometimes it's worth it to do it for a good movie. If something
Right.
good coming out,
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff that's just not worth time.
and it's gotten easier for me how to. I know that like they send out a link that people can like go online and like RSVP or whatever. But
okay.
I
You
told
just-
them you don't realize we're dealing with a bunch of fighters. So
yeah,
like
so
I just have to say, do you want to go?
They're not very
Do
good
you
at
want to
They don't even know
go?
what
Do you
RSVP
want to go?
What does RSVP mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I have it down now though. Like I have like, I put it in like groups from like this group from the gym, the girls from the gym, like family.
I get
And then my friends
and I get
outside
a
the gym.
special text message.
Yes.
You do feel special that
And
way.
then I get marking.
Yeah.
Holly, you know what I
6 feet in
wanted?
the
I
back.
wanted to talk to you about it because obviously you come from the old gym, right?
Mhm.
And as I always say, how fortunate I am to run this gym and being around
Oh,
greatness
it's awesome
like you
around
guys.
here.
So I always wanted, I always ask the old school fighters like, what are the major changes? Like, what changed? What is the comparison of how it was before to what it's now? Like, what
Yeah.
what is more? Like, how can you describe the transition and how it all played out? Because I know a lot of guys say, oh, it's a little too crowded, it's blah, blah, blah. And then, but then a lot of people saying that it's the best thing that ever happened to the gym, that they made this transition. So what's your take on that?
Well, I've been here longer than anybody in this gym, so I have seen every change that it's had. And I feel like I wouldn't have been able to evolve if these people wouldn't have come in. So for me, I see it as anybody that comes in, don't get me wrong, the first day you walk in, I don't care who you are, I'm going to wait and see if you're going to stick around
Yeah.
before I really invest too much. And that's just because there's so many here. People want to come and go.
Take pictures and disappear.
And
just, like,
so it's, if you want to stick around, stick around. And I'm very loyal to this team. I've been part of it longer than I've been, more than half my life I've been here.
Yeah, I've noticed
And
that. You're
so
very good at reading people.
There's people that come in and become like family to me. They become my brothers, my sisters, and there's some that come and go, and they're good training partners while they're here. Some people come and go, and good to see you leave. I mean, honestly, there's every bit of them
if you
from
got
every
nothing to
angle.
bring to the team, then
Yeah.
don't be here.
And there's some I miss. It's like, hey, I wish they
There's
would have
some
stayed,
guys
but yeah,
some
there's stuff
some
like that.
natural circumstance
Uh-huh.
for people, like they
Right.
don't allow them to.
So
family stuff.
and don't get me wrong, there's few that leave that I think, oh, good, don't let the door hit you on the way out. But there are some that I think that way, and
Yeah.
just because maybe they weren't they didn't try to be part of the team or help the team. I think the biggest thing here is when people come in, there's two different kinds. What can I do to be part of the team, and what can this team do for me?
Yes.
It's like you need to be part of the team, and you're going to evolve. If you if you're only looking to take, then if everybody was just looking to take, then nobody would be helping anybody out, and we wouldn't be evolving. So,
I think the vibes here are great, man. That's what I
Yeah.
hear about everyone that always comes in and says, like, man, it just
No,
such a
it is
pleasure
great.
to see. I mean, you just saw right now, there's
Yeah.
like, what, like 50, 60, 70 people, everyone like running happy,
Yeah.
everyone beating the crap out of each other and just like hugging it
Yeah.
out and
Like
hanging
today-
out, checking.
Today was a good example of
Special.
a family moment.
The
It was so
Shermanator.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Shermanator's birthday from last week. He,
Isn't he the cutest thing, man?
Yes.
He comes up to Michelle, hey, sugar.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you cannot be in a bad mood with this guy. He walks
Yeah.
in.
Lydia gives him a
attitude doesn't
kiss.
change, yeah.
Lydia gives him a kiss, and he's like,
And he
hugging
kissed her
her,
back.
really
Oh, yeah.
smiling.
And then he kisses her back. He's not shy.
So his caretaker brought in a cake today, a big old Jackson Wink
JW,
a cage themed cake. It was actually a vegetarian cake. She didn't want to
Was
tell
it?
anyone that.
No, I
It
didn't
was a secret
I think it was like vegetarian and sugar free or something. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know that till after I had a couple
I
bites.
didn't
It was
know- I
good.
didn't know they made cakes like that.
Me
Apparently they
either.
do.
No, it was
But
really
yeah, so
good. I ate 2 bites and then and that's all I had. And they were like, there's no sugar in that. I was like,
Yeah, I
really?
saw-
Maybe I'll come for
I
seconds.
saw everybody eating that cake. So that
It was really good.
But she brought in a cake, and Diego stopped practice for a couple seconds and
Made an announcement.
Made an announcement, and everybody sang him happy birthday, and it was just the coolest moment. It was like just one of those. The whole team has accepted Isaac as one of our own.
Well, the way I try to show it and tell everyone, look, this guy has like no hate in him. It's like we
Yeah.
all can learn something from him. He's like
Absolutely.
the most like honest, pure
He doesn't
person.
judge anyone.
Doesn't judge. He's just happy to be here. And
Well, and what I
that's-
like about him
we should
too is
learn
that
that.
he's I think before coming here he's always like been excited about the sport and
Yeah.
wanted
Oh, yeah.
so he has a different kind of even appreciation for being here. So it's kind of one of those like
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying earlier. He's not here for any agenda.
yeah.
He's just here to have
I want
fun.
to be part of it. Yeah.
He doesn't know the difference
Yeah.
between. He doesn't care who any of the high level stars are. He's just here to train with
Yeah.
Diego because Diego said I'm going to train.
Because that's his buddy.
Yeah, and that's
Bottom
what he
line,
does. He's
yeah.
he's every single Thursday like clockwork, and
Yeah.
and it's
You know,
we look forward to it actually.
It's been cool to see a lot of the changes like that over the years, and there's been, back before it was Jackson Wink, it was Winklejohn's Kickboxing, and Jackson's Gato Jitsu,
Yep.
and
Two separate gyms, exactly.
yeah, and they would come up, they would spar, learn from Wink, and then if our guys wanted to do MMA, then they would go down and roll. It was kind of just this teamwork that way, and then Wink, of course, and he's like, I don't want to really run a gym anymore. I just want to train fighters. So that's when they combined, and then of course he's still got Wink's gym now that he opened
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah,
Like, you can't not help but he does everything. He works more hours than anybody I've ever met in my
Yeah,
entire life.
His work ethic
And,
is incredible. Also, yeah.
And not only
He's
that,
like a father to us all. Really,
yeah, for sure. And one thing that people ask me, what makes him so great, and there's multiple things that make him so great, but number one, he's just the best coach there is, hands down.
Good businessman too.
Yes, and I think that one of the things that a lot of people can, I think, run into with certain coaches is the coaches are in it for their own glory as well, their own
Not well.
agenda, and he literally, genuinely wants the fighter to win for them.
He is.
That is not selfish.
Yeah.
It's not for
Yes.
himself. It's not for his own. I gotta
noticed
tell you,
that.
I've been on many, many road trips when I was in amateurs. You don't get paid for that. He's
Yeah.
putting his own money to
Yeah.
invest in the fighters to help them chase a dream. And there, how many fighters we'd go with. I always would try and work so hard to even help with gas to help other fighters, help pay because I knew the other fighters weren't, or they're sometimes not even paying for their own food, letting him pick up their. I'm like, he's not, and of course he would do it a lot. And not only that, but your time, hours on the road,
Yeah.
driving. We
That's
drove
why.
everywhere.
That's why we're here now.
Yeah.
That's why we are. What we are right now because of sacrifice that he made. That's how I got into business too. Because
Mhm.
I had passion for it, and I chased the
Yeah.
dream. I took care of the fighters. I
Yeah.
put a lot of money on myself. I flew
Yeah.
here with Timur. I paid my own flight ticket. That's how I ended up.
I didn't know it was Timur, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I met up Coach Wink.
That's one of the
and-
fighters I miss here.
He went from translator to GM.
Yeah.
Not just
in a matter of a
translate. I
few
mean, I've
weeks,
done a lot of things. I travel
Yeah.
all around the world, and then just landed in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And
Land of entrapment.
Yeah, and I want to exactly.
Trapped him.
Yeah, I got trapped, and hopefully for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
'Cause
I love it here.
I love Albuquerque, man. I've
Yeah, I do
settled
too.
down. I know. I mean, my health-wise, it's great. The air,
Yeah.
the environment.
Getting back to Coach Wink, he's so humble, because I tell you what, he's totally happy being that guy behind the scenes. Doesn't want credit for anything. Doesn't want. He's not, look at me. We have to force him to.
Which you
talk
see
about
a
himself.
lot with coaches.
You know what he always says? I've heard it multiple times, but whenever people say, "Oh, congratulations," and they tell him congratulations, like, "Oh, I just hold this bit bucket."
Yeah, then he does it. He's always the guy in the background.
Very humble.
There's some coaches
That's all
that are
he
always
says.
up front and Wink's back
Now,
there.
I
bucket
asked
all
him.
happy.
I
Yeah.
remember how I got like so paranoid and obsessed the other day. I said, "Coach, like, what are your long-term goals about? Like, you know, how do you envision? Like, what are you gonna do with this gym? I mean, you know, everyone gets older and stuff. It's like, you gonna sell it?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. You know, it's gonna ruin a lot of life, probably. You know." So he's like, he thinks about other people's lives.
Oh, for
So
sure.
He thinks
No,
about it because he knows.
he stands
like,
down there and gets beat up all day because he
he's
knows
like
that everything else is
he's like
reliant.
Godfather, you know, to all of us,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, his shoulders are falling apart, elbows falling apart. He's like a machine all day long, man. Like, you know, out
All
fighter
day.
after out fighter, boom,
All
boom,
day.
boom, boom, boom. Like, oh, coach, how's your arms are still intact?
I
You
know.
getting punched
When
by
he tells me,
by a
"Hey,
fish.
you know, yeah." You know, well, and then he's like,
Someday we're gonna figure out what she's
Yeah,
saying.
is it fish? Is it hish? Is it like, what is it?
lately they've been saying
Shush.
Hershey's.
Hershey's.
When we hear it, we're just like, oh, jeez, run for cover.
Actually, let's talk about it a little bit, because a lot of people, and obviously, you know, I run social media, so you get a lot of literally idiots on
Trolls.
social media, trolls that always troll play, you know,
Keyboard
especially with those
warriors.
private accounts that talk crap about something they have no clue idea, and then, you know, I call them bots, you know, with no real identity, you know, just spitting hate out and stuff. They always, you know, make fun about, you know, when you
Making
fight,
noise, yeah.
when you make that noise.
That's okay.
Tell us more about it. What is it like? What it came about? Like, why is it so
Well, two things. The
pronounced
people that
when
probably
you
talk
fight?
crap about it probably make noise getting out of bed in the morning because they're probably not doing anything, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Someone must have been
They
recording.
probably make noise just to pick up a quarter off the ground.
yeah,
So I pick up pennies. I'm not talking about. I'm saying they probably make noise just to bend over. But
What would they know?
It's a secret code that we're never supposed to.
You know what?
Decode
They say that noise kind of.
I think it's more from like a karate
Is it?
background, honestly.
They say
it's
it
called a
gives
ki.
away.
Yeah.
It says it gives away your next.
A lot of people are
kick
starting
or
to say that.
punch
Yeah,
or-
what would,
I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Yeah,
like,
what do
it
you-
gives
what would you
'cause
say to
usually when
people
you
about
say
that?
it actually it's not like you say it and then the punch comes in.
Right,
or the
you're
kick
doing
comes in.
it.
It's
It
like-
comes
it's-
as you're
they're
doing
saying
it.
it's
Yeah.
together.
telescoping your punch or kick that's
Yeah.
about to happen.
No, I don't yell and then do it. It's
Yeah,
just it's in. We were just taught to breathe, like in karate. It's like when you, and the more you force it, the more sometimes it comes out louder or whatever. But
It's war cry.
Well,
It's just-
she's the reason that we were going to do this project, and I
Yeah,
keep
we-
trying
we
to do
gotta
it.
do it,
The
man.
sounds of Jackson Wink.
Yeah,
because
we're going
every
to
fighter
record. Every fighter has a
this
different.
sound.
I do
that they
think
do.
that
Janna-
across the board, more people from like a karate or
Yeah.
kickboxing background, it is louder, and I think it.
Janna has a funny one
Janna's
too.
like
man.
a-
That was
she's
like,
like a
Yeah,
little-
Janna.
She's like
squeaky,
a little,
squeaky,
like a
like,
squeaky dog or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Francisco.
Cisco was the funniest.
His is the best.
Yeah.
When they
Sounds
first
like a
came
hawk or
here,
something.
my office was here actually, and Wayne comes in and he heard from his office, "Do we have a duck over here?"
Yeah.
And he always came up, yeah, remember that, man? That
Is it
was
a
the
seagull or is it a duck?
duck.
What
It
is
it
it?
sounds like a duck. So we want to do a compilation video of all the voices when
I
they
think it'd
mix.
be a good idea. Yeah.
So we're gonna do it. Man.
Joey used to do one like for the whole combo would be like like 4 punches was like one thing,
Oh, Joey.
and like
Guys,
Well, now we just
Jodi is like a through her teeth like a
oh,
now,
man,
now when we hear Joey, it's good.
there. For whole-
Somebody's doing good.
Yeah. When I lived here, Holly, the way she makes it sound like I lived in an apartment when we opened it, and I moved in here in an apartment, and I would hear Holly all the way from the cage to my room. I'm like,
That's awesome.
Holly's here. Hey guys, let's give a little interruption for
Let's take a minute.
to thank our sponsor. Nick, roll it up real quick.
There we go.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, this podcast wouldn't be possible without this great company that came on board and supported us in beginning this project. And it's a company called CBD Boutique, local company that...
Is it local? I didn't
It's
know it was
local.
local.
Yeah, it's local,
Awesome.
and they have this great product called Heka, CBD oil that actually I started working with Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, they came out with an athlete version.
Yeah,
just,
they have an athlete version because a lot of people would always say, does it have THC and
Right.
will it come up in the test and stuff like that.
approved.
USADA approved, so, and we actually started talking with them, and that's how they came up with a new product that does not show up, doesn't have any THC traces, and it's good for professionals, for athletes
Awesome.
of any kind, anyone who gets drug tested for work, law enforcement and stuff like that. Do you have their banner? Can
It's
you
rolling.
see it? Yeah. So guys, go check it out. CBD Boutique.
Where are they at?
TheCBDBoutique.com. There's 2 locations.
So they're over
One
by
is
UNM was
Yeah,
their
one
main
is off
one.
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one I don't remember actually. I'm bad with addresses, it's so many I just remember.
Yeah.
But they're here in town. It's easy to look them up.
They've got entrapped there
And,
with everyone else. So.
Yeah.
But they're doing good for us. And do you have any experience with CBD oil? Is that something?
No.
Have you, see,
I probably should
I've noticed
use
a
it.
lot of the athletes are
It's
starting
good for
to.
inflammation, for sleeping, for relaxing. Just everyone is on board. You see it everywhere, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like Bass-Rutten endorsing.
One thing
every athlete kind of working with their own company
Yeah.
right now.
I think I'm kind of so when I go to sleep, I pretty much go into like a small coma every night anyway.
Wow,
So
that's
it's
awesome.
like
How?
Well,
Teach me.
well, when you're working out,
I know, I'm
4
I'm
times
a-
a day, working out, swimming, running the hill.
Me,
I'm
I
telling you, I
train once
sleep-
a week, jiu-jitsu, man. My mind is rushing,
Yeah.
my mind is rolling. I can't fall asleep.
Yeah,
So
my
I
mind
know.
goes and I do stuff around the house, but as soon as I want to go to bed, I lay down and fall asleep anytime I want.
I envy people like that.
And once I'm
Jesus
out, I'm
Christ.
out.
I envy people like that.
Even if I wake up and have to go to the bathroom, I'm like, just forget about it and go back
That's
to
sign
sleep.
that's sign of happiness and good life,
Yeah,
actually.
it actually is, yeah.
Like me,
People
because you accomplished, so your life is set. So I guess people that are worrying a lot or have some kind of anxiety,
Well, I think that
they-
definitely,
that's harder to fall asleep.
I definitely think that it has to do with that. Not that I don't think about things, but I just know it's still going to be there tomorrow.
Right.
Might as well get some sleep in the meantime.
Yeah. Everyone needs rest.
So you got some other ventures that you're kind of involved in, like your family, for example. I guess your brothers just started a brewery. You want to give them a shout out or a plug
it
a
is,
little bit?
yeah, for sure. It's a distillery, so it's going to be for vodka, actually.
Oh wow.
I
It's in
remember talking.
Scottsdale.
so
Yeah,
that's
that's going to be awesome.
What's the name of it?
It's called the Blue Clover Distillery in downtown Scottsdale. It's right on the corner. And they'll be opening up probably next month. So I'm going to keep updating people on when it's going to be open.
You know, I was going to give you a suggestion. Do you have a name for your realtor company? Like some kind of, do you have?
I hang my license so you have a qualifying broker and I'm an associate broker.
Okay.
So my qualifying broker, it's Infinity Real Estate. I mean, if I started my own,
So
yeah, I
Hollis
could.
Homes.
Yeah,
I
Holly
know, right?
Holmes.
This would
Come
be
on,
the
that
best.
was
This would be like
Holly's Homes.
the easiest name.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Or Holly Holmes Homes.
Holly Homes.
Holly Holmes. It's tongue twisting.
It would be Holly Holmes Homes, but apostrophe S.
Okay.
Got it?
That does
That'd be
make
a good
sense. Yeah. It's too much thinking. But yeah, so right now it's just a Scottsdale location and nothing in Albuquerque. Have they thought about it? Or?
I don't know. You never know. I mean, it's just, I guess we'll see how this one goes. And what's crazy is that's my brothers would always talk ever since they were like 20, 21. We should just open up our own place, brother. We should just do this. And, so Weston is going in actually with a good family friend of ours. And then my other brother's out there helping him to do all the
business and stuff.
break it down, rebuild, and they're doing a lot of the construction right now, and then just help it get on rolling. The sooner we can get it going, the better. So it will be next month that it's going to be opening.
So that's one of the million projects you're involved in. I know you also do. A lot of people probably don't know this about you, but you do the aerobic class over at Wink's Family Gym, which
Not
is
aerobic, kickboxing.
Yeah.
Kickboxing, like
Yeah,
for conditioning.
Yeah.
And aerobic workout.
It's like cardio kickboxing.
Mark is
Cardio
far
stuff,
away from the sport,
Oh, come on,
so
no,
people
I'm
know.
very good at
He
this.
doesn't know the difference
Cardio
between
kickboxing.
kickboxing and aerobics.
I call it aerobics too sometimes.
She doesn't do flips.
It is. But sometimes when you do that, then guys are like, I don't know, and I'm like, no, come, because it's a lot of burpees, squat jumps, punches, mountain climbers, high kicks, you're doing a lot of, actually Wink, that's how I started. fighting. I was doing that. And then I would stay after sometimes, watch the sparring classes, and I thought, oh, that looks like fun. I want to try it.
Yeah.
Wink used to teach the classes all the time. And then we hit the bags the second half of class. And he used to make all the fighters come that would get tired in fights. He's like, why don't you come? You come do the sissy workout, because it's not a sissy workout.
Well,
you know?
the funny part about it, let me say something about it, because I had my wife kind of join it, so she doesn't stay bored and stuff. And she went in there, and I remember you were all day, and like literally after your like fourth workout, just ran on the mountain, all sweaty, into the class, and then just like 100 miles per hour workout with just everyone jumping and falling off, and Andre Holly's like a freaking crazy ass speed, like just jumping and doing the stuff. I'm like,
I've been there to film it a couple
Holly,
times.
what is it, like your sixth workout? Yeah, just I got one more left.
But I do think that because I've done that and it's muscle memory, that I can always do no matter what workout I'm
to
on.
you, that's
and
easy.
It's also one of those things too, though, that the reason why people are there is because they don't want to go run on their own. They don't want to go to the gym and make up their own work. If they're going to a group workout class, it's because it makes it easier. So it's like
it's with you.
Yeah, so it's like we got to go then.
No one wants to look like a pussy
with
for Holly. Exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes I give modifications. Hey, if you want to do it this way, go ahead. That's if you have to.
Yeah. I know Michelle.
Not because you're being lazy.
I know Michelle does it too with you.
Yeah,
right?
she does Tuesdays. I do Mondays.
It's
And Noemi's retired now. She doesn't fight anymore, but she did fight before. She teaches on Saturday mornings.
It's very popular, I know. Every time I go, it's a packed class. It's Mondays, every Monday, I believe.
Monday at 5:15.
Yeah, and for those local people, that if you guys want it, or if you want to become a fighter, that's kind of like, and you don't have any martial arts experience, that's where it starts. Wingsgym.com, actually. Go there. Wingsgym, WINKSGYM.com.
Our producer Nick over there in the corner, you can't see him because we don't have a camera for him yet, but his wife actually just started with you a couple weeks ago too.
Awesome. It gets packed, right? It's good, like
and no matter, there's always a lot of people there, but some days it's even more so than others, which some people, I forget who it was telling me the other day, oh man, I want to go, but the class is kind of packed, and I'm like, oh my goodness. You should have seen how it was when Wink was teaching. When I first went at the very first gym, it was the small little like strip mall in the smallest area, and we were doing aerobics right next to the karate classes. Literally, you would have to stand next to someone, and you would just position yourself to when you front kick on the side of them, and when you side kicked like right behind them, like literally like a puzzle. Everybody was fit in there, but the energy was great. It's like, don't tell me there's not enough room. We could fit twice as many people if we really wanted to.
Yeah, there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to get a workout there, guys. So if you're thinking about it, wingsgym.com.
I like the energy when there's a lot of people, too. When there's less people, then I'm like, okay, well, then today I'll hold mitts for a little longer for each person in the middle of the bag work or whatever. When it's super packed, it's like, all right, 2 people on a bag, and we'll do sprints like 20 seconds each, and then you have somebody else watching you. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a big class or small class. You get a good workout.
It's funny to see new people come in. Like I said, I was sitting on one of the classes. They'll come in like 15, 20 minutes into it. They'll just drop out. They're like, I can't do it. Yeah. I'm out.
I mean,
it'll put you in good shape for sure if you want to like.
One of my friends always tells me, she's like, gosh, I'm so sorry I'm always late because I barely leave work at that time. And I'm like, so 20 minutes is still better than sitting on your couch. Yeah, like, I don't mind if people come in. Maybe because I'm late to a lot of things. I'm very patient. I
wasn't going to say anything.
We're surprised you walked in like literally on time. Like, Holly, can you come in 10 minutes early? Yeah,
well, it was late compared to when you told me to be here. But you know what? I also say, I was just joking the other day because Jodi was hitting mitts and she wound up going.
Jodi Escobar, we're talking about.
Yeah. And she's like, I got here on time, and she was like, dang it, I was hoping that today would be the day you didn't come on time because I tried to squeeze in before you. I'm like, it's fine. I don't care if I stay here for a half hour before I go. It doesn't matter. I was like, here's the thing. Everybody gives me a hard time for being late. However, they don't mind that it's because I say yes to everything. Yeah. And then they don't mind that I'm saying yes to them that probably made me late for something else. But it's okay. Yeah. I don't mind it. And
so much to do,
don't get me wrong. There's times I'm on my way somewhere, and guess what? I just need a coffee, and I'm going to be 5 more minutes late, and I'm sorry.
She does walk in with a coffee.
Yeah. So much to do, so little time, I always say. That's how I feel every single day when people pull you in 100 different directions.
Jodi's laughing.
You always feel unaccomplished. You're like, even though you did 100 things, you're like, something's missing.
I lay down, and I'm like, gosh, I didn't do this. Yeah. Well, but one thing about Jodi, though, as soon as that was over, she goes, oh, by the way, so... did you want to run the hill this weekend? And I said no, but I'm going to say yes. Yeah. So I'll see you there because I know you don't want to run by yourself and you have a big fight coming up.
Speaking of Jodi Escobar, it's surreal because I take pictures of a lot of the athletes, and I I took some pictures of her for her UFC debut picture, and I pretty much told her, I said, you know what, this is the last time you're going to get a picture taken by someone other than the UFC, and because now she got the call. It must be cool. It must be cool for you, knowing her for so long, to know that she finally got that call.
I've known her since she was 14.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how many memories her and I have like inside jokes that people around here don't even know because they weren't even around for the longest time.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a time where a lot of the guys were kind of not coming to the gym and quote unquote being pussies and all this stuff, and Wink was like, you know what, I guess I'm just gonna train girls because those are the only people that are here that are just tough enough to go. He was like, because there was like 3 of us girls fighting at the time, and he was like, fine, let's just do it, I'm just gonna be training the girls, screw the guys. So we kind of, that was kind of a joke for a while. He's like, hitting like a girl's going to be a compliment around here. All these guys are to keep, and then, that was when the gym was going through a lot of transitions, and there would be sparring classes. It's like, there's 4 people in here tonight. And there'd be 10, 4, maybe 15. Then, and sometimes it depended on the high or the low, and it depended, Tuesdays and Thursdays were always more busy because that's when we did the combined classes with Greg and stuff like that. But there's a lot of memories that Jodi and I have because I think, so I was 19 when she was 14, I believe, and, that was back in amateurs. We're driving everywhere, and her and I have a lot of miles on the road together, and every single time we got in the car, we were running late, and it was like, how fast I'd be driving in my Toyota Solera all the time, and I would pick up Jodi, and I'd be like, okay, we need to be there in 6 hours, and we have this many miles. How many miles an hour do I need to be going in order to get there on time? She's like, 87 minimum, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so when you do the calculations to try to figure out how fast you got to drive to get there, you're running.
Did it work? Like, you made it?
Oh, yeah. The one that we probably had the longest go around was, we didn't even stop to eat. If we had to pee, we literally just stopped on the side of the road, peed, jumped right back in and went. Like, the car was probably still rolling as we're going.
You stay in the car.
Sling your butt out the door. It's fine.
Well, it could have been worse. You could have been like that astronaut a while back that wore a diaper
oh, yeah.
That's stop.
I don't want to sit in my own piss, that's for sure. But going up to Grand Junction was probably one of the longer rides that we had, and we were just going the whole way, and we had to make it there. Naomi, one of my other best friends, she was fighting that night, and we had to make it there. So, and there's a lot of, every fight trip has its own story. One of my favorites.
I mean, what a championship career you had, man.
It's been fun. There's every fight had a journey, and one of the times, and of course, there's the times we went cheap. We literally, the most people we had packed in one room at one time, it was a 1-bed hotel room, and we had 2 fighters that night, and in the room, there was Mr. Hill Terrace. They were sharing the bed. Like just the chair that folds out into a twin size fold out, not like an actual like couch bed. Jodi and I slept on that together, like literally like side by side. Underneath it was Joe Cruz. On the end of it was Wink on the rollaway. And then on the walkway to the bathroom was Eric Kusovic and Clint Rhodes. Oh, wow. So in a 1-bed room, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people.
Wow, so anything to save a buck when you're
and you couldn't see the floor because between our gear and everything else was
those days are long behind you. But
but it's funny that even these up and coming fighters, that what they face every day. That's why we try to push them as much as we can, guys. Hey, everyone, they need support. If you're a fight fan and you have a opportunity to help this, starving artists.
Yeah, and there's also another thing about it too, though. Don't complain about if you can't afford a room, then pile in one, because we did it and it was fine.
There's more people doing it.
It's still a good path, even if you don't make it. The way I always tell these guys, because we see so many fighters, so many walks of life from all around the world. Literally, we can always talk about it, and and not everyone's going to make it. We know that, but it's just the opportunities that can open up for you, and just the life that you can say you lived an honest life and you tried your best. It's still a good life to live.
Yeah.
Not everyone's destined to be a world champion, but.
Well, I think too that there's so much to learn about life through fighting, and as much as people see it as this like barbaric sport, it's so far from that.
Life is a fight.
Life is a fight, and there's so many. you learn about people's energy, like as far as just dealing with people, not just having to talk to people, but be physical with people. You have to really kind of be open, and every different type of race, religion, it doesn't matter.
So many people together.
It's crazy.
It's just after every practice, just that sense of accomplishment that it gives you. That going to bed and like I don't do for practice, but even like I train jiu-jitsu once.
But there's still a goal.
It's a goal. There's always
a lot
something
of people,
new
like,
to learn. There's someone.
I've had people tell me like, "Oh my gosh, I have no passion. I wish I had a passion like you do. I have no passion."
This is passion.
Whether you do it or not for, a career, when you come in, there's always a goal. You want to get better. You want to beat the person you're going with. You don't want them to do better than you.
Even if you advance that one step against that person that you lose all the time, and then you start surviving them.
You want to win.
Get on that level. It's a drive.
And I'm sorry, the people that say just to participate is fine. No, everybody should want to win.
Of course, everyone wants to win.
Because you should want to succeed in anything you do. Otherwise, the world will literally self-destruct.
Yeah.
Like, you have to want to get somewhere. And I remember my husband actually coached baseball at the academy with some of his friends, and Alex Bregman used to play for them, and he plays with the Astros now, and he's huge. Making home runs in the major leagues.
Another local guy that got big.
And I love to be able to see that. I watched him in high school, and now I get to watch him on TV. It's really cool, but I remember one of the years they were like, "You guys are kind of getting too hard on the team, and you're saying that they want to win." They kind of got in trouble for telling them that they should tell the kids they want to win. So whoever's listening, this might throw them under the bus, but that's okay. I don't mind speaking up and saying, yes, you should want to win. What's the what?
You and Wink are very much alike.
You should want to win.
Speaking about winning, how did this change your life?
Oh,
how is this the biggest highlight of your life, or?
You know what? It was the biggest highlight, but there were moments that were big highlights that helped me prepare for
this
moments.
Highlight.
To be able, to get the championship for that. But
you have no idea
we're pointing at a picture on the wall that in case you can't see it.
I'm proud of
famous
it.
head kid.
It put this gym on a completely different level. I mean, there's so many champions come out here, but still, like every moment like this carries its own weight on the gym in a way of. You
have these visualizations, and you can win, you can do it, but to really make it happen is always, that's what the dream come true is. A lot of people don't get to experience that in their whole life. So when people say, "Gosh, I just don't understand your career," like, God, like, I can't believe that you like to get in the face. It's like, no, I don't like to get hit in the face. I like to punch people in the face. My whole goal is to not get hit in the hit back. But sometimes when people get down, like, I don't understand your career, and it's like, is it really I can tell the people that are, wow, I just don't understand your career, and they're intrigued by it, and then there's the ones that are passive aggressive. I'm just being direct right now, but you know what I mean. There's I just don't get it. Really, it's like, why are you doing that? And sometimes those people want to be like, you know what? I actually feel sorry for you that you don't get to feel what I get to feel. In your entire life, you'll never feel what I get to feel. However, a loss is that terrible.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's on the other end of the spectrum. So I might be feeling that too. But that's the chance you're willing to take to chase the dream. And I know that I'm living my life, and I love it.
So, I know you don't have anything announced yet. Nothing coming up. No fights. But I have a question for you. If everyone is alluding to Cyborg is going to be your next opponent or whatever, would you rather fight Cyborg, for example, in a boxing match or an MMA fight? Which
MMA fight for two reasons. Number one, I don't have a passion to box anymore. I loved boxing, and I fully love and appreciate my whole career as boxing. I just don't feel like doing it anymore, and I only want to do what I'm passionate about at the time. Right now, I want to do MMA, number one. Number two, I want to take Cyborg at what she does best.
There we go.
She's never really been boxing, so then if I boxed her, then it's like, okay, well, it was just boxing. No, I want to take someone at what they do best. I don't want there to be any excuses, because I'm not going to make excuses. So there's two things. I don't want to, just do it to play the easy route way. And
kind of like the opposite of the Floyd Mayweather and Conor thing. He went into a realm that he really didn't know what he was doing, and that would be kind of Cyborg going into boxing.
Yeah. So
Against
you'll
you.
have advantage.
Yeah, you'd have a
obviously,
big advantage, and then she'd always say,
But you know what? I think you perform the best when people don't give you a chance. You
Yeah,
know?
'cause I wanna prove them wrong.
And then exactly.
It is a personality
and usually,
thing of mine.
and most for the most part, you do. You
Mm.
know, and those couple stumbles that you had, you know, you were
Yeah.
very close. It's irrelevant because we know who you are, what you're capable of. What you're at that level, no matter what.
Yeah.
So, and especially after seeing Cyborg fight, we had that discussion with Diego on the other podcast. Is I think you have the greatest chance of beating her.
I think I can beat her too.
Yeah, she's never been 5 rounds, right?
Yeah.
And after, I mean, we know Avenger is very tough,
Yeah.
and she survived for as long as she did. And
Yeah.
I saw after third round, Cyborg didn't look like the same
Oh,
Cyborg.
no.
She was
Yeah.
very plodding, slow, and there's no way Holm is going to stand with her back against the cage and take
Yeah.
the punishment. You're going to move. So
The thing about Cyborg
and your
is,
movement and
yeah.
your kicks and stuff, Cyborg never seen anything like that at a level.
She's
so, I mean,
definitely her strengths are that she's strong and aggressive, and she keeps trying to evolve with her skill and everything like that. No matter what, though, everybody is
beatable.
very beatable, and
Fact.
it is a fact because, you know, I think one of the biggest times when I was about to fight Christy Martin, right?
Fact.
It's a fact, yeah, and it's one of those things. Actually, after that fight, I was having a talk a while back with a friend. I was like, you know, there is a thing like a lot of people. They wanted to support, you know, when it was like kind of fun, and after a while, it's like I actually didn't think it would go that far though. That you would, you know, and I'm like, well, I thought I could. You know,
What's the point of doing it? If you
right.
don't think you can?
Because if you don't think you can, you won't.
yeah.
That's just all there is to
yeah,
it,
if
you
you're going
know.
in with a negative attitude.
So,
I mean, it's the same thing with
Yeah.
me. Like I always talk with Mark. Is like I was chasing it. People told me, "Don't chase, no, you know, just go get a normal job." Whatever. I said, "No, I love the sport. I'm gonna find myself in the sport.
a job
one way or
doing
another.
something with it.
Some that I love. I love training. I love being around fighters. I love helping fighters. I want to be part of the sport." And I became part of the sport.
Yeah,
Same
and
thing.
I
You want
think
to be a
that
champion, you became 20 times champion.
Yeah.
In so many different ways. So who says you can't do it, guys? Go ahead and do it. If you want to do something, go ahead and do it.
And honestly, I really feel like everybody can. Take, and sometimes it might even turn into something else from it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there's always something that starts with it. Even with Noemi and she makes healthy meals, you know, like getting more into eating healthy, like through the training and everything like that. She's kind of, you know, always worked in restaurants, and she thought, you know, I think I'm going to make...
all the time. Guys going to acting, guys going to open up their own businesses, stuntman.
You throw yourself in the mix of this place.
Because there's,
and
there's
so
much
much
success around you that
Yeah.
it drives you to succeed. The opportunities open up. That's why all these guys from all around the world, they want to
Come
be
here.
around you because they see who comes
They
out of
come.
these doors. Is you know, look at Michelle. You know, body issue. You know, for
I know,
we
I'm
have-
sitting here
She's
looking
over
at it right now.
posing, Yeah, that's
I love looking at the bodies issue.
Yeah, it's
Michelle
like
Michelle
They're all-
Watterson
You
was
should
on the
be
cover of the ESPN
Yeah.
Body Issue, which is a coveted edition that comes out every year, and it's incredible. If you can still get a copy of it out there, go grab it because we're very proud of Michelle, and she was very extremely brave to have participated in that, and it's
very
it's an
vulnerable
awesome thing.
for sure.
There's always haters. They always spit out hate and talk about, you know, you shouldn't have done it. But who are they to say it? You know, it's not your life.
So I guess that's our second. I think John Jones actually did
John did it, yeah.
did the same thing a couple years back, and so our second athlete from
Would
the
you
gym.
do it, Holly, if they offered you? He said, I think I talked about it. He said, you would.
They did, and I
Oh.
wish I would have, so
Really?
maybe it will.
I'm sure it'll come up
It
again.
might materialize. There could be an upcoming issue. You never know.
I would definitely be one of those that's like, you know, okay, well, like, let's make sure and do this, and that pose. If they're like, oh, we'll do these two, but we'll make... No, there's no need to do that one because I wouldn't want you to post that one.
Yeah, you would
I
have
would
to
be-
be.
I would definitely be-
You would have to be in control. So
I
the
would
only way I
definitely-
do it
yeah.
is if I use, you know, I post.
Because to
post
me,
this way.
I really do think that this is a very, like, to me, this is like physique. This is the hard work. This is,
Yeah.
and if you look, like, every sport even has a different body.
Yes, true.
You know what I
true,
mean? And I
true.
think it's
like swimmers, you know, with
yeah.
broad shoulders and
Yes,
long arms, and it's
absolutely.
like it's almost like when you look at fighters that are just certain people like you. It's like you were born for the sport. Like
yes.
the way your body develops
yeah.
over years.
You
to
can see
adjust.
how sprinters are
Yeah.
built next
Yeah.
to a distance runner.
Yeah.
How a football player is built next to a basketball player.
Yeah, how wrestlers look like.
Yeah.
Because, you know, how
Yeah,
fighters
wrestlers
look.
or swimmers or yeah.
You
totally.
can actually tell a wrestler from actually a straight up like MMA fighter too. You can tell the difference if that MMA fighter didn't have a wrestling background, let's say, but they were like, you know, starting kickboxing or whatever. It's like everyone has their own distinction in every sport, in every direction.
So you want to talk about you want to do the little M&M picks?
Yeah, well, actually,
segment?
it's funny because we want to do this, picks with upcoming fights and stuff, and we realize that we actually suck at picking fights.
Yeah, we epically failed last week,
Yeah,
by the way, guys. I
because-
don't know if you guys were keeping score, but I think I won because I picked one.
Yeah.
One winner.
The thing is that you know how unpredictable the sport is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
That's why when people ask me who's gonna win, I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny when people posted like, oh, I remember Bevan Lewis fought, and this guy was like so certain, he left this comment, and like so certain the other guy was gonna win, whatever, which I'm like, and then I couldn't help myself and go back and give him a comment. Say, so what's up, Nostradamus?
Yeah.
So. You don't possess, guys. This like everyone with the Ray Borg fight. I read this nasty comment saying it's a crap fight. There's not a chance, Borg. And I always say Holly wasn't supposed to win either. Where you at now? Where you at now? You know what I'm saying? That's I love making fun of these people.
I like the biggest thing is I say the biggest upsets in sports. They're there for a reason. It's the biggest upset because one person thought that this unbeatable person could be beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Or this unbeatable team.
And someone went out and beat them. So
Yeah.
guys out there, shut the hell up.
Like
you don't know the future.
Like in your case,
you just
where
don't.
the media was just playing Ronda up so much.
Oh yeah, I mean they have to build up their fires, of course, and stuff like that. But
when she was unbeatable until I beat her.
Yeah,
and it shows that actually how on stage that sport is. That because a lot of people say they build their fighters, they feed them, whatever they feed them. No, they don't feed them. It just, of course, they cautious with career, this and that, but. It's for the most part. It's they used to say back in Pride everything was staged and this and that, but definitely not in UFC because they.
I'll tell you, I've never been in a staged fight in my entire life.
Yeah, and I believe that. That's why I never.
I would never be in a staged fight. I'd be like, "Where's the real fight?"
There might be wrestling, but that's not the.
Okay, WWE, whatever.
Yeah, so let's pick out a couple fights. I just go on my phone and pick up the card and stuff. We see Mark, write it down, okay? So we'll know who. Yeah, last one we sucked. I'm just trying to prove because he doesn't know the sport as well. You know what I'm saying? So he makes predictions based on how the guy looks. So like, Tyson Petter's going to win because he got nice tats.
Yeah, he looks good in black and white.
Yeah, it looks good on the camera or whatever. So you as a professional fighter, obviously you have the inside. You know everything. And I obviously run fighters.
What fights are we talking about?
Well, this weekend,
the upcoming weekend. Yeah.
So
UFC,
yeah.
UFC 2.
Luke Rockhold, David Branch. And I want to try to talk, our fighters, of course we're going to cheer for our guys, but it's more interesting to break down, like, somebody
we had
who's
a rough
not our camp, So Luke Rockhold, David Branch, you know who David Branch is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a monster World Series of fighting guy.
Yes.
He was in UFC first.
Saying that's actually a really hard one to predict.
It is. But then Luke Rockhold, who didn't compete for a while, right? So he's kind of comes in and out and stuff. So what do you think? Like,
I feel like he's always puts on tough fights. He even throws kind of head kicks, things like that. I've even, when he was fighting, was it Weidman? I think they were like assuming he would be the one getting taken down, but he actually was doing all right with the wrestling as well.
Yes, he was.
And he was definitely showing he was evolving. But this is definitely a whole different style of fighter, I think, than any of the ones he's really been in there with, and it's gonna be. I'm not gonna put a prediction. I'm saying it's just.
She knows. It's hard to predict.
It's gonna be
for
hard.
the sake of the show, just call it.
Go with the Shermanators route and just say you're gonna win every fight.
Yeah, right.
I'm going.
How about if it ends early? I think if it doesn't end early, it's Rockhold, and if it ends early, then Rockhold's the one that lost.
Okay, write down.
Rockhold. All right.
So if it goes distance, Rockhold wins. If not, then so that's I'm just. You can bet like that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just opinion. There's no.
If it's early,
there's no rules in what we're talking. Just
if it's if it goes the distance, I say Rockhold wins. If not, then vice versa.
Just normal conversational prediction type thing. Nothing, we don't have rules on this. It's just whatever. So
I think
keyboard warrior right
I
here.
think
Let's
Rockhold's
go.
going to knock him out in a second.
Okay.
That's me.
Well, I'm a big fan of David Branch. So because of Hansel Gracie background, and he's an extremely durable fighter and jiu-jitsu ace. He was a 2-time different divisions and World Series of fighting. But every time he came
I haven't
in,
watched him fight that much. Is the thing.
I did. I'm a big admirer.
That's why I don't
of
have
David
a very
Branch.
good. I've watched Rockhold fight more.
Yeah, sure. Because David Branch, he started in UFC, then he kind of didn't do very well, kind of got caught, went to World Series of Fighting, did shitload of damage there, won
here's
2
the thing.
belts.
Sometimes when you do that in your back, though, in order to make it back, that's because you are grinding, you're working, you're doing.
But then he came back and he had a very lackluster fight. And for some reason, the way every time he fights outside of UFC, he shines like crazy. He gets into UFC and they gave him I don't remember who he fought the last fight. It was a big name. It was like one of those durable fighters.
Maybe he needs
It
a
was
bigger name. Maybe this is what's gonna do it.
Yeah, maybe
he's gonna
sometimes. Remember how with you too, in the beginning you were cautious, you were this and that, whatever, blah blah blah.
He might shine then. He might be the one doing it this time.
So I give it to David Branch.
All right.
Decision.
Okay.
Decision. My thing. So we'll just do 3 fights. Let's see. Let's talk somebody who people actually know. You know who Kamaru Usman is from Brazilian, former Brazilians, and Sergio Moraes. Do you know these two?
I haven't watched them enough.
Okay,
I know who
no,
they
no.
are, but I haven't watched them enough.
So it's not like a lot of big names on here. What about Hector Lombard and Anthony Smith? Anthony Smith, he was actually knocked out in Strikeforce by Adlan Amagov. Remember Adlan?
Yes, I remember.
Yes,
I remember.
hard not to write. But you know Hector, right?
We have nobody on that card.
Yeah, I know
We do.
Hector.
Anthony Hamilton.
Hamilton,
We'll
that's
get to
right.
that. We'll
yeah.
just wish him luck. We know he's going to
Yeah,
win.
yeah.
So, but what do you think about Hector Lombard and Anthony Smith? Anthony Smith is 27-12, his record. Lombard is 34-7. So, Anthony Smith...
I think Lombard's like one of those, he's like a gamble. Like
Yeah,
sometimes he
give and
goes out
take.
there and he just performs, and then sometimes he doesn't. So that one's a hard one.
Yeah,
I'm going to go...
Hector Lombard.
Hmm?
Because you don't know Anthony Smith, right?
Well,
You
it
know
makes
him?
me want, but it makes me want to go Anthony Smith because then I'm because Hector's I don't know.
More?
He's actually good, by the way.
Are they good?
Yeah,
I
well,
haven't tried.
They're very mild, not overly sweet.
Let me give a plug to whatever.
The White Rabbit. Who
is.
brought those?
We
Chinese
absolutely,
guys.
Yeah, we
One
can't.
of the 10 ones. That
I know. I was like, which one?
So there's health facts on here, but it's in Chinese.
I need that because then it just makes me
Yeah.
feel bad.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're
expiration
eating.
date is
So
in
if I don't
Chinese.
know, then I guess it's okay.
Yeah, literally everything about this is Chinese except for the White Rabbit and big plain English.
Okay.
So,
Come on, Mark. Hector Lombard or Anthony Smith?
Lombard.
Because
sounds like a tough guy.
Just
Yeah, I like
because
that.
you don't know Anthony Smith, right?
I'm gonna go Anthony Smith then.
You know this guy?
Sounds like a tough guy, Lombard. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'll give it to Lombard. Yeah, Lombard second round. Knockout.
Didn't Lombard win his last fight too?
I believe so. Yeah, but I think he got popped
Mm-hmm.
on something.
Oh yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
I want to actually cover something after we're done with this because I want to say something about this steroids and all that crap. And let's see.
We'll end it with Anthony.
Well, we know Anthony's going to win, so we're not even.
Yeah.
He's fighting the guy at 5'1".
Here's the thing. If you
Daniel
ask me
Spitz.
about anybody that is on our team fighting, those are the only times I'm like, oh, they're winning.
Yeah, well, it's hard.
That's why we had a rough weekend last weekend because we.
And
picked,
Anthony
three-
been in the team forever too. He's one of the old schools. So let's do Krzysztof Jotko, Polish guy versus Rockhold. Interesting fight, actually.
Yeah, it's a very interesting
Krzysztof
fight.
Jotko, 19-2. You know who he is, right? Polish
Mhm.
guy. Yeah, very tall. I think that's the one actually that David Branch fought in when he first.
You're
came
picking pretty tough fights.
back. Yeah, well,
I
that's
feel like
the
they're
goal.
very,
And Rockhold.
Uriah Hall, he's been kind of performing a lot, but
13-8. He did lose a bunch of fights.
What's
man.
the
Mhm.
Like,
but is it recent?
what?
His losses?
Let me see.
I think one of them was recent, but before that, I thought he was kind of on a roll.
Is he a wrestler or a striker?
Striker,
Okay.
very flashy. He is one of the coolest knockouts. I mean, it's the craziest spinning kick knockout in Ultimate Fighter. Remember, he knocked the guy out. It was the most baddest highlight I've ever seen, and they carried the guy out on the stretcher.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was one of the scariest things that
Yeah,
I've
those
ever
are scary.
seen. and the guy was like stretched out, like in convulsions and stuff. Man, it's this tough
Ouch.
sport, scary. Are you looking him up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're right. Hold on, let me see.
I just want to see when his last, because I know he was on a real, like, good streak for a while with some pretty big wins.
He I think beat Musasi.
Mm-hmm.
That's his last fight. I know that. Either he beat because Musasi beat him because Musasi lost the first fight and then beat him second by decision, I think. Man, I gotta stay up with these guys, man. I used to know everything about
Yeah, you're losing it.
But with the job and stuff, I'm always
I don't
around
follow
fighters.
it that much.
I know.
I mean, I follow the girls, but
Yeah.
I follow the girls and our team, and there's so many on our team
Oh yeah.
that I find myself not paying attention to my dad.
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
terrible.
It's hard enough just keeping up with our team. We have
He's
such
in a
a-
3-fight losing streak. You're right, Hole. Robert
That's not even
Whittaker,
right,
our boy Derek Bronson, and Gerard Musasi.
No, I knew Derek was.
That's crazy, actually, for your eye hole.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
But Derek also is kind of. They're like. I feel like that was like. It was going to probably be one or the other between those two because they're both like stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek Brunson's a really good
Oh,
wrester.
my God.
Oh, yeah.
A really good wrestler, but
What
so
a
many
power
of his
punch.
wins are. Right.
I love
He
watching
knocked out.
him.
He knocked out.
Yeah.
I love
It was
watching
going
him.
to probably be one way or the other. I figured one was going to knock out the other.
Well, one thing I want to. So you wrote everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I pick Uriah Hall because he's coming off 3-fight win string. He's got.
I will too.
Yeah, I'll pick him because guys like that know how to rebound and stuff. So I believe he has a chance.
Me too.
What do you pick?
I'm going with Hall.
Okay. All right. What I want to address, all this whole steroid thing and accusations and things like that, especially this camp is so dear to me. I put so much time into it, and a lot of people always, especially after John Jones' situation, taking so many shots at the gym and things like that, and accusing us of cheating and ingesting fighters with steroids. Yeah, that's exactly what we do when they come in. We'll line them up and we'll freaking put freaking needles up
All
their
right,
ass.
guys, so just come to the secret.
Yeah, come here. Well, and then we hide you under the cage. Yeah. So I don't know where that came around, but so what I wanted to say is, statistically, look at this camp, and how many fighters have ever been
Oh, I take pride in the fact that our gym is very clean.
one person, and the situation is confusing as hell anyway.
Right.
So I'm not gonna point fingers at other camps or anything like that, but our reputation to me is very important because
Me too.
we protect the gym. We want to be known for clean as clean
I
as we
think
possibly
anybody's
can.
gonna go out and be
Yeah.
talking right now,
Yeah.
but
If you guys say things like that, think. Don't just spit out stuff that you have no idea about. Think about what you say. Think about how it affects other people. Think about what you write. And especially if you have no guts to say something to somebody's face, or come up to Holly, or come up to John, or come up to anyone else and say, hey, you steroid camp, you all suck, your coaches should have known, blah, 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 you all know. No, we didn't know.
tell you what.
No one is holding John Jones's hand.
No.
No one ever goes to party with him and do things like that. We don't know what happened to John Jones. Yes, we're a training camp. We have hundreds of fighters, and we don't control every single fighter and what they do with their life outside of it.
I don't think a lot of people realize how much USADA's here all the time anyway.
Exactly.
I've been tested 19 times, and every time they come, I get blood and urine that they take, and that's been in a year and a half. 19 times.
I can vouch
So,
for that. They do. They come
I
in.
personally ask for you people to literally, think of what you say, because that affects people in different ways, and if you don't know, don't say it.
Well, and I think the jury's still out on that. I mean, he's got to go through the process, and we keep saying that. Everybody keeps saying that he's got to go through a process, and he's innocent until proven guilty, and the consequences.
Especially
are
the
his.
coaches that were affected by it, like Brent Gibson and all these guys that put so much work into it, and helping John, and I think John even knows what's going on actually, because from the way it is, and Easy and Coach Wink and Greg Jackson and all the teammates around him. As much as John was trained, everyone was helping him out. Everyone was always, no matter what, we'll have John's back. Even he's who he is, but he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met and the most pleasant
He's
person
one of the
to
most
be around.
real, non-judgmental people
Yeah.
I've ever met.
Really
I've never even seen him in bad mood. He always
No.
has a smile
He's
on
a very
his face.
spiritual
Always
guy.
spiritual, always happy. Like, where
He's way more patient with people, way more personable with people than I am by far.
Yeah. Media doesn't do him justice. People like, I hate his character, I hate him, he's blah, blah, blah. What'd he do to you? Do you know him personally? Like, that's what I hate when people start talking bad about, like, about you and writing things to you.
Oh,
he's you don't know that
John's a nicer person to people than I am.
And that's absolutely a true story.
It is.
I can vouch for that.
It's true.
I've seen Holly get mad. I've never seen John get mad.
I was scared of Holly when I first started because she'd never looks at you like unless you start talking to her. That's a lot of people that don't know about her. When you start talking to Holly and she opens up and then
you're like,
you can't
shut up.
You can't stop her. I was like, hey Holly, I just have a question. What do you think of that? 20 minutes later, like,
you're like, what was your answer anyway? I don't even know.
Yeah, they covered so many topics and stuff. No, Holly's awesome.
Let me tell you, there's a whole different dynamic and a different aspect of things, but I have gotten to which is where everybody sees me, and when I come in, I take my job seriously.
Hell yeah.
I am thinking about what I'm going to do, and I'm also thinking, I'm tired from yesterday, but I have this fight, and my mind's on that. So when I come in, I'm not really in the mood to be walking around high-fiving people, and other people maybe need to feel like that in order to feel happy and get into training. And
everyone's different.
I'm a little different, but I never actually feel angry. I'm just in my own mind. I'm here for my training, and because my whole career has been here, and outside of here is definitely, there's people I run into all day. Yeah. This is the only place.
It's your safe haven.
It's my safe haven.
Yeah,
this is my office, and so
I was going to actually mention to you, the fans or anyone or new fighters that coming in, whenever you see, obviously, a lot of fighters or fans get starstruck. Understandable. I get starstruck every freaking day. I see,
I get starstruck by my own teammates.
Exactly. So it's normal, but I'm saying when you come in and stuff, give these guys a little room, breathing room. Don't jump on them right away and don't point cameras at them and stuff like that. This is our job, If you honestly, politely approach us or whatever, we'll try to figure something out. But especially the fighters that want to come in here and stay for a while, don't jump in. Let's all the big players get to know you, first.
I think I'm one of those. See, John's way more.
He's right away.
He embraces everybody.
Well, John, the difference between the two, I think, is John likes to work the room. He's very good about saying hi to everybody and before he gets started.
And I'm like, don't talk to me. Let's just punch each other.
You're strictly business.
Get to business.
You come in.
Let's punch each other first, and then we can talk all we want after practice.
Drop your coffee in your corner and you put your stuff on, and you run out there and just get started. You don't need to work the room. You don't want to.
This is a very funny gym, man.
But I usually stay after.
That is true.
Longer. Yeah. Most people do because
that's you're doing now.
That's when all the fun starts. So everyone just
Before practice, I'm not in a playful mood. I'm
because you gotta warm up.
I want to get my stuff going.
To get out of the way. Yeah, I see that all the time. Yeah.
And then there's I know because it's such a everybody knows we're here and people come by and everything, and it's always out of love and support, But this is the one place that
you want to get away.
It's our church.
It's no.
Yeah.
I was just saying the other day, I forget who it was. I was like, it's all out of love, so it's not that it's a negative vibe. It's just it's not the time.
Yeah.
And I was just saying people don't think of it in a reverse perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If you just
say that,
to literally
come
walk
to your job.
Yeah, even in a restaurant.
VP over there who's very busy
just
there. Get over here.
Say you go in a restaurant. Yeah, and you just walk right through the kitchen. You're going to go back and talk to the manager. They'd be like, "What are you doing in here?" It's like, "Oh no, I just was going to talk to your manager." You can't walk in here.
I want to tell the cook how good he did.
So I have a sign, members only, man. You're like, you don't belong here. We have observation deck. We have rules. Follow them. Catch her outside. Catch him outside. That phrase. Catch her outside somewhere.
outside
of the whole premises.
Outside. It's crazy with you. You have such a distinctive look with your hair, so it's.
I think one of the biggest things too is
not
because
to see you from a mile away, so people are probably like, "Oh, Holly, hey."
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest things too is here is because I'm in the mind. You're even saying even my own teammates. I'm in that mindset. It's gosh, I would hate for other people to come by and think that I'm being rude, and it's no, I'm just going in to focus and train, and so it's catching me at the wrong time sometimes, and so, but I used to actually have a lot of anxiety about it, oh my gosh, if I if I say no or if I'm just training and I have to kind of ignore someone, I used to feel really bad, and I thought, you know what, this is the one place that I'm not going to feel bad, and I'm fine with that.
And that's what we try to preserve, obviously. I always try.
Because I'm telling you, Albuquerque, it's the best place to be a fighter, period, number one. Number two, I seriously had a career because of the love and support, and how many people really have a hometown like this, 100%. So I think my biggest thing is I don't ever want to be, I would never want someone to think I'm being short with them because of their support, because I 100% appreciate and love their support.
There's a time and place for everything. But let me ask you this, kind of got to wrap it up somewhere, but let me ask you this. Obviously, no one's career is forever, right? I mean, what are your thoughts on eventually, like, you're going to stay in Albuquerque for the rest of your life? Or, when you're like, what is it?
I don't see myself leaving Albuquerque no matter what I do, because I feel like even with this job, I would love to be able to do things like through, fighting, whatever, whether it be any kind of...
consider teaching, being a coach? Ever consider for girls?
I don't know. I'll always be involved.
I could see you being a good
coach.
Still... For girls, especially. No, imagine we had a girl. We have already one of the strongest girl team by far.
For sure. And honestly, I'll be involved, but I wouldn't do it full time. I see how much work they do, and I'm like... You're like, are you going to coach? I'm like, oh my God, I feel sorry for Wink. He's worked so hard.
What else would you do? I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah.
For sure. And not only that, I'll still be sparring.
I'll never let you go.
No, I'm not leaving.
This gym without Holly is not the fucking...
I'll still be sparring. Yeah. I'll be like the soccer mom later.
Like 80 years old Holly. Just like,
and I'm still going to want
to... All these new people coming in.
For sure. I'll still be trying to kick people in the face when I'm 60. I don't care.
Holly, I'll tell you, you've been extremely generous with your time, and we appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
And
we'll do it again.
We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for...
thank you.
You're
a true
champ. And we'll show some video maybe one of these times after we get the girls' dorms going.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to follow up with that woodworking project that you're doing for the girls' dorms, because they're excited about it.
You're a true champion. You're a true champion.
You guys are awesome.
We love you.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me in.
Thank you so much. And whatever you need, we're here. So
I know
let's give a shout out. Close out with CBD Boutique real quick. Give them another shout out.
They're on.
Yeah. Once again, guys, CBD Boutique. Thank you so much for doing this. We
made it all possible. Thanks, guys.
We want to take this podcast to a new level. We open up all these opportunities for up and coming fighters, and for Holly and for everyone, to just live our dream and do the things that we do. It seems like this is such a big era of podcasts going on. Everyone got one, so why not? So now we have one. We have our own media station. We have our own everything. Really, it's one-stop shop.
It is a one-stop shop
when it comes down to fighters, and we believe exposure. Media exposure, social media exposure for the fighters is one of those most important things in this business, right? Because if you don't promote yourself, if they don't know who you are, then what's the purpose? You're never gonna make it. So at least you have the opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
So CBD Boutique, thank you so much. And guys, go to the website, buy some products, order online, ask them questions, talk to them, and thank them for supporting us.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.